Hello, little learners. Welcome back to our pre-K and TK classroom. My name is Miss Lara, and I'm going to be your teacher today. Hello. Now, I'd love for you to introduce yourself because I'm going to try to guess your special letter. So when I put my hand to my ear, you're going to tell me your name as loud as you can wherever you are. Ready? Here you go. Ooh, I heard it way over here. So let's see if I get your special letter right. We're always going to put our happy face on the top because that's where our letters start. So we're going to start with a big line. Then we're going to do a little curve. Yes, we did that one yesterday, a P, but it's not a P. If you add another little curve, you'll get a B. That's right. Is this your special letter? It's your special letter if it's the first letter of your name. And you'll remember the B makes a sound. It goes B. The B says B. The B says B. Every letter makes a sound. The B says B. We're going to put this down because today is day 2 of the 5 days that we'll be together. And we're talking about Thanksgiving this week. Thanksgiving is a time, if you'll remember, that we all get together and show our gratitude or thanks for everything that we have. So I added one magnet on top. So I have one on top, one on the bottom, and 1 and 1 makes 2. 3 days to go. Now, I told you that on Thanksgiving, when people think Thanksgiving, they think turkey. So I pulled out from the vault the Turkey Pokey, and that's the song we're going to do together. So wherever you are, I need you to stand up nice and safe because we're going to need to do the Turkey Pokey. And here are our turkey body parts. We're going to need our turkey wings, our drumsticks, which are our legs, our stuffing, which is our tummy, and then our wattle, which is our head. Are you ready to do it with me? Here we go. You put your right wing in, you put your right wing out, you put your right wing in, and you shake it all about. You do the turkey pokey and you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. Get your drumsticks ready. You put your drumsticks in, you put your drumsticks out. You put your drumsticks in and you shake your drumsticks out. You do the turkey pokey and you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. Next, we need our stuffing, which is our tummy. We put our stuffing in, we put our stuffing out. We put our stuffing in and we shake our stuffing out. We do the turkey pokey and we turn ourselves around. And that's what it's all about. Last one, we need our wattle, which is our head. We put our wattle in, we put our wattle out. We put our wattle in and we shake our wattle out. We do the turkey pokey and we turn ourselves around. And that's what it's all about. Oh, wow, you were such good turkeys. I loved watching you dance with me. Right now, I think it's time for Miss Maria's delivery. So let's see what she brought us today. Here we go. Oh, there it is. Here is our letter. Read it with me. It says, Dear Miss Lara, yesterday we learned that Thanksgiving isn't just about turkey, and that's true. It's not just about turkey. Different families have different traditions and things that they do around this time of year. Some eat turkey, some do not. But the most important part is being together, isn't it? Do you have any other books about togetherness that we can read? You know I do. I loved our last book. Oh, I did too. Our Table is such a good book to read and a good reminder to put away our devices, our phones, our computers, our video games, and spend time together when we can. So I think Miss Maria bought another book about togetherness and sharing, which is what Thanksgiving is about. And it is called Thank You, Amu, right there. That's actually Nigerian for queen. It is by Oge Mora. Now there are a couple of things that I want you to notice about this book before we read. First is the artistic style of the illustrations. They're collage style, and that's a sneak peek into the project that we're going to make. And next, I want you to notice the characters in this story. This is a great story for sequencing. We're not going to sequence together today, but if you go back and read it, make sure you practice that skill. So thank you, Amu. Let's read our story. Look at the beautiful pictures. Now you can tell they're all newspaper, different paintings that the artist or illustrator has clipped up to make one big picture. On the corner of First Street and Long Street, on the very top floor, Amu was cooking a thick red stew in a big fat pot for a nice evening meal. She seasoned and stirred it and took a small taste. So there she is cooking her big red stew. And do you notice what's coming out of the stew? Let's see if it tells us. What a delicious stew, Amu said. Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I have ever had. That is an aroma, it's a smell, and it's going out her window. With that, Amu put down her spoon and went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street and around the blocks until, knock, 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 someone was at the door. When Amu opened it, she saw, who do you think it is? Look, there's the scent going through the city. Do you notice this little guy here at the bottom? I wonder if it's him. A little boy! Little boy! Amu exclaimed. What brings you to my home? I was playing with my race car down the hall when I smelled the most delicious smell, the little boy replied. What is it? Thickened red stew, thick red stew. Stew, he sighed. That sure sounds yummy. Now you'll remember Amu was saving that stew for dinner. Will she share? Amu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she had made quite a bit. It would not hurt to share. Would you like some? She said. The little boy nodded, and so Amu spooned some of the thick red stew in the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Amu, said the little boy, and off he went. So there she is sharing. Even though she didn't have a lot, she shared with the little boy. With that, Amu closed the door and went back to her book, and as she read, her thick red stew scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until, knock, knock, someone was at the door. When Amu opened the door this time, she saw, do you see any clues about who she's gonna see? A police officer. What would you do if a police officer came to your door and asked for some stew? Oh, it says, Miss Police Officer, Amu exclaimed, what brings you to my house? I was on duty down at the street when I smelled the most delicious smell. What is it? Thick red stew. Ah, stew, she said, and her mouth watered. That sounds mighty tasty. Amu thought for a moment. There was still enough to share. Would you like some? The police officer nodded. Once again, Amu spooned some of the thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Amu, said the police officer. And for the second time, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. Sure enough, she read, and her thick red scrumptious stew, the smell of it wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until, knock, knock, knock. Again, someone was at Amu's door. This time when she opened it, she saw the hot dog vendor. And the hot dog vendor said, I was selling my hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious smell. What is it? It's thick red stew, Amu said. Stew? The vendor licked his lips. That sounds quite delectable. And Amu shared her thick red stew with the hot dog vendor. Thank you, Amu, the hot dog vendor said. Look, there he is, smelling his stew. Throughout the day, people from all across the neighborhood knocked on Amu's door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker. Even the mayor stopped by. And each time they knocked, Amu shared. Now I want you to think about what's going to happen when you share everything you have. What are you left with? Not a whole lot, huh? Here's her empty pot. Let's read. Soon the sky darkened, the street lights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. But when Amu opened the big fat pot for thick red stew for her nice evening meal, oh no, it was empty. Look at her face, she's so sad. There goes the best dinner I ever had. Sorry and blue, she sat at the table with her empty pot until... Knock, 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 knock. Who could that be? Amu wondered. When she opened her door, she saw... Now I want you to make a prediction. Who do you think this could be? She doesn't have any more thick red stew left. Who could be knocking at her door? Let's see. The little boy, the police officer, the hot dog vendor, the shop owner, the cab driver, the doctor, the actor, the lawyer, the dancer, the baker. Why, everyone she fed today was at her door. Amu said, I'm sorry, everyone. My thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share. The little boy tugged at Amu's sleeve. Don't worry, Amu. We're not here to ask. We're here to give. The police officer carried in a fresh salad. The mayor entered with a roast chicken. The baker brought a collection of sweet goodies. Even the little boy presented Amu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Everyone who had knocked on Amu's door that day squeezed inside her tiny apartment, and together they ate, danced, and celebrated, while Amu's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty. Her heart was full of happiness and love. That dinner was the best she's ever had. The end. And look, here's a picture of the author. So what did you think of the story? Thank you, Amu. Isn't it a great story for teaching about sharing and giving? I love this story for that reason. I hope that you check it out at your local library or on the Sora app. So of course, you'll be able to read stories too soon. You just need a little practice. So one of the things that is a really great predictor of reading success is being able to take apart words into their sounds. This is called syllables. The sounds in a word or the chunks in a word. And today we're going to break apart the sounds of different things from Thanksgiving, or at least that remind me of Thanksgiving. And I have some musical instruments here that will help us. So let's do the first one. Pumpkin, pumpkin. Let's see, what instrument should I use? Let's try this one. Let's see if I say pumpkin. Do you hear how many sounds? 2, that's right. So I'm going to put the pumpkin in the 2-syllable category right here. Let's try this one. Potatoes. Ready? Potatoes. 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 3 syllables. syllables. Let's put it over here with the number 3. And let me try a different instrument. Ooh, how about my rhythm sticks? That would be really fun. All right, let's do pie. Ready? Pie. Oh, just one. Pie, that goes number 1. So pie has 1 syllable or chunk. Let's do turkey. Turkey. That's 2. Turkey. 2 syllables. Let's put it in with pumpkin right here. How about this one? Corn. 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 Just 1. All right, we'll put it up here. We have 3 more left. Let me pick a different musical instrument here. Ooh, what shall I pick? Maybe the maraca? That would be a lot of fun. All right, let's do that one. Ooh, this one is good. It's cooking. Let's see if you can help me break this into chunks. Cooking. What do you think? Cooking. 2. We'll put it right here. And do you recognize this? Oh, this is my favorite around Thanksgiving, all on top of mashed potatoes. Gravy. Yum. Let's see, mushroom gravy is my favorite. Ooh, do you like mushroom gravy? Let's try it. Gravy. Gravy. 2 syllables, that's right. And the last one, way over there, that I'll grab a different instrument for, maybe these clappers, is acorn. Let's see, acorn, acorn. That's 2. Look at all of our different words have syllables. As homework, I want you to take a look at your name and think about how many syllables your name has. Well, right now at our project place, we're going to continue to make our 5 little turkeys. We made 1 yesterday using leaves, and today we're going to use some recycled materials to create a whole other turkey. And at the end of the week, we'll be able to sing our 5 little turkey song. So let's go over to our project place. Let's see here. For this activity, you will need some magazine pages. Now, I cut them out like this, but you can actually just take a magazine and just have it with you. And what I love about magazines is you can practically get them for free. Some people like to throw them away, and they have lots of different colors and patterns that we can use to create art. You're going to need a piece of paper. I chose black paper because it really makes all other colors stand out. You're going to need scissors and some glue. And those are the only materials you'll need to create something like this. A magazine collage turkey. Turkey number 2 of 5 that we'll create. Isn't it lovely? I call him Tim. Tim the turkey. So we'll make something like that. So the first thing you'll need is to gather some magazine cutouts like I mentioned, and I picked some that have interesting designs. I think this is supposed to be soap, but I like that it was dotted. And then the first thing you're going to do is cut out some feather shapes. Now, to make like a feather shape, it's almost like you're making a round triangle. So look like that. I'll show you just what it looks like. Of course, your feathers can look any way you would like, but this is what mine looks like. And then you're going to glue it down. I'll do it this way so you can see. Now, part of this activity is layering. Layering means you put things on top of each other and you create different patterns and art using this layering technique. So I'm going to lay my first feather down, and I'm going to do it kind of in a rainbow pattern like this. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm going to pick out some more. Ooh, do you see this one? It has a really pretty rug kind of pattern. And I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to layer it or put it on top of my first feather. So I cut out the piece, and I think I'm going to make it a round shape like this. So I'm going to cut it out and go round, but you can make it whatever shape you'd like. If you want it round or zigzag or square, let your imagination and the materials be your guide. So here we go. Here's kind of our first feather and what it's looking like so far. We're going to keep going. So I have some more patterns over here, and we'll do a feather out of this. So I just keep going and cutting out my feather shapes. Now, you don't have to use magazines for this activity. You can use paper if you'd like, but Like I mentioned, magazines will save you a lot of ink because they are very colorful. And really, you can't find paper that looks like this practically for free. If you need some good, inexpensive magazines, you can actually go to the thrift stores in our area. They will sell them for about $1 each. But, you know, you might just ask somebody, hey, do you have any magazines that you're throwing out? I want to make a turkey out of them. As one does. All right, here's another piece of the feather. I'm just cutting out whatever I see that I like, different patterns. So I'm going to put this one on top. Again, layering is just putting things on top of each other. My turkey, for some reason, is coming out very blue. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get materials that are a certain color and you just have to work with them. Go with the flow. And look, this is supposed to be some germs, but I thought it was a cool color. Now it's a feather, a turkey feather. Who knew? Make germs into a turkey feather from magazines. And keep going, layering and layering. I'm going to do a few more so I can show you the body. Okay, so this is ice cubes, again from a magazine. And I'm going to do another turkey feather out of these. I like the pink squares. Do you like the color pink? I like the color pink. I think my friend who might be joining us has a favorite color that's blue, but I won't give the surprise away. Okay, and I'm going to put the pink on top of the blue. Let's see. What do you think? Do you like that pattern? It's looking pretty good so far, huh? Now, another illustrator in a book that's really known for their collage is Eric Carle. Do you remember him from The Hungry Caterpillar and The Grouchy Ladybug? He does these huge murals and collages that are gigantic, and he prepares the paper and cuts them out into different collage pieces. So really, we're being like our author in our book, Thank You Almu, and Eric Carle. So 2 literary inspirations today. Don't we feel fancy? All right, adding more feathers. I'm going to layer this on top. And then after this last feather, I think we'll do the body so I can show you what that looks like here. All right, let's do one more feather. Ooh, look at this beautiful black and white pattern. Gotta be a feather. Gonna make it the large feather, and then I noticed some more patterns down here. Quick tip is the best magazines for using patterns and creating art are the home decor ones, because they want to sell you all kinds of rugs and different things. They have tons of patterns. All right, so last one, and then I'll show you what the body's going to look like. And again, this is going to take you a little longer. You're not going to go as fast as I am. We have limited time together, but hopefully you go back and check out the episode at the Valley PBS website and on YouTube. All right, what should I make for a body? A turkey body's got to be really creative. I can go boring, I can go brown, but I think I'll go purple. Purple turkey. I'm going to call him Disco Turkey. So I'm going to make a circle. Take your time. Take your time. And this is going to be the head of my turkey. And I'm going to make another body. And maybe I'll use this pattern over here. Ooh, this one looks good. Okay. So just a little bit of time left, so I'll show you what it's going to look like and then the completed project. So again, this is number 2 of 5 turkeys that we'll make, so I can share my rhyme with you. All right, here's what our turkey's looking like so far. And of course, at the end, I'll add some eyes and then and some legs, and he'll end up looking like this. A fabulous patterned turkey out of recycled material. See the little legs I made him? And the eyes were just some white paper that I found from the magazine and some black. Ooh, he looks so fun. All right, so I hope that you try this activity thinking ahead. we're going to be making more turkeys together as the week goes on. We might even try to save a turkey from being eaten. We're going to disguise him. What should we make him? A pizza? No, he'll be eaten. Oh, I know. We'll make him a ninja. Ninjas don't get eaten, right? I hope that you join me again. All right. Remember, boys and girls, I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so glad that you tuned in today. We'll see you again tomorrow for more reading adventures. Goodbye.